Hey everybody, this is Margaret. I am very excited to be on the mend. I hadn't seen me in a minute, but I got my big chop, and I know that I'm cute. I told y'all I wanted to do it. So today's on the mend is about the big chop, allies in salted fire. So I know y'all like, what they got to do with anything? Like, please tell me what they got to do with anything. Well, I am. So I did the big chop. It wasn't because my hair was unhealthy. Nothing like that. I just was ready for this. This is my second big chop. So, hey, Dewan. Dewan met me when I first did my big chop. Like, he was like, what? And so I just felt like it was time again to do the big chop. One of my inspirations for my big chop is on here right now. I told her I was going to copy her. Hey, Renee. So, TFNS. So I did my big chop. And I love it. Thank you, honey. And I love it. I feel wonderful. It feels excellent. Wonderful. And, but I did it just because I felt like it. And because it's a new season in my life. And, I don't know, you motivated me. So you had a haircut and I wanted it. And here it is. You remember this cut? Yes. So you motivated me. So, but big chop, allies, and salted fire. So Mark is one of my favorite. When I say one of my favorite gospels, if not my favorite gospel, I absolutely love Mark. I think in Mark, Jesus is a smart butt. Like, I think he's one of the meanest people when it comes down to doing Mark. And I'm gonna stand right here because I'm at a site, so we don't have anything going on. So I think that Jesus is so mean when he starts out in Mark, and then he smooths out. Mark is one of those books that you don't believe me, you can go pull up the article. It's one of those books that had to be recrafted so that it could fit into the Synoptic Gospels. It did not have the Passion story in it. So when we read the end of Mark and we get excited about the Passion story, you notice a lot of preachers don't preach Mark because it was recrafted. But the other stuff, Mark is considered to be like the hood gospel. So it was written in common language and what it does. And so Mark chapter 9, near the end, talks about cutting. And it talks about if something causes you to sin, cut it off. And it started out with the disciples having an attitude. Hey, you guys, it started out saying that this guy is going out and speaking in Jesus' name and healing in Jesus' name. And Jesus is like, well, if we got an ally, keep him. I mean, because a lot of people don't like us right now. Like, we not fan favorites. And I know some of you guys feel like that in your positions, at work, wherever you may be, where you may step, that you're not a fan favorite and you're not an ally. Like, you like, nobody is hearing me, nobody's with me, nobody's walking with me, nobody's standing with me. And so I got to stand strong. And I got like a stand strong person on here right now. Hey, Naomi. And you got to stand, plant your feet and do it. So in this case, there was somebody that believed the vision of Christ. And he was like, don't push him out. He said, on the other hand, if somebody is causing you to sin is when you doubt. So if somebody's causing you to doubt your vision, your dream, what God has called you to do, the position that God has put you in, the growth that you have, that person more than likely can't walk with you. That thing that's attached to you can't walk with you. Where you go, it can't be with you because it's going to stop you from leaping to your next level. And so God has said, chop it off. Take the eyeball out. Cut the foot off because you're going to drag. It's not going to let you do because it's going to keep putting adversity. It's going to keep putting things in your face to doubt what God has said. And so you want to find an ally, that one person, that two people, that many people that may believe in your vision. Secondly, in finding an ally, this ally was not one of the 12 disciples. He decided, I believe the vision and I'm going to speak it, and walked on it on his own. Allies have particular places in our lives. Allies show up for you wherever they need to show. And we shouldn't think that everybody's going to walk and travel this road with us hand in hand all together. One of my favorite allies of the civil rights movement is Whitney M. Young. Not because he was a social worker, but just because of his poise as an ally. He was in the backdrop. Like, you really didn't know about the militant mediator. You saw him in the picture when they took it with Lyndon Baines Johnson, but you didn't really know who that cat was. But he was the writer. He was one of the writers for the movement. And he was the social justice social worker. But he didn't want to be big. He didn't want to be in the limelight. He didn't want to put his family in danger. Even when they lived in Atlanta, when they bombed his house, he went right back to Missouri. He was like, I'm good, because I don't want to die. So, but he knew he was an ally to the movement. He just knew his positioning. So when we have allies, because you're going to do a big chop, you're going to have to cut the people that's not going to walk with you. They're not going to stand with you. They don't believe what you believe. You saying you're supposed to open a daycare. They telling you to stay at McDonald's, but God is telling you to do that. Get with those people who are going to push you to your greatness. The push is not uncomfortable in some cases. I have mentors that push me all the time, and I'll be wanting to say, you know what? I'm done with you today. On the other hand, I realize that they see where I'm going. That's where they are my ally in mentoring. I have friends that send me likes and loves and shares, and that's all they do. Like, they don't comment, they don't say anything, but they are an ally. They're pushing. I also have some people that might need to be chopped on here, but I don't know. But I know God will remove them or show me. But that, whatever may be, know what needs to be chopped and where your allies lay. And in the end of that text, verse 49 and 50, it's like it comes out of nowhere. And Jesus says that all salt is tried by fire. So what comes of that? Like, what? All salt is tried by fire. What you talking about, Jesus? And he said, so remain salty. Remain salty. So I take this to mean this. When Jesus said that, all the things that keep you salty and keep you in this state of growth and keep you flavorful for people to see and recognize your gift, they recognize who you are, they recognize what you're supposed to be doing, they're going to be the fire that tries the salt. And then when the salt is heated, if you cook your food, if you ever cooked anything that has been packed in salt, once you unpack it, you don't have to season it because it's been savored and kept. It's been preserved in the salt. And it's been glazed over with fire. And I had to think about that. And I was like, it has, so that the salt can pack it in. And once that flavor busts out, oh my God, what happens is that it's this flavorful, robust, juicy moment that happens. And that is what can happen with the things that we are called to do. Like, we are called to salt the earth. But you don't really do a good job when you have some nasty, unsalted things trying to attach to that which you're called to do. So do a big chop. Like, some of us, I know I need to roll through my Facebook and cut some folks off because they not interested in what I'm doing and we no longer connected. Then realize who your allies are. Allies are not always going to show up to all events, nor are they going to always tell you that they agree with you, but the agreement comes in the walk. And so I may not agree with somebody, but when it comes down to my walk, I know our walk has to be in agreement. But I may disagree with a statement, but they're still my ally because they're supporting me and they're walking with me. And this is beyond anything you can think of. You need allies in business. You need allies in everything that you do so they can support you and you won't feel alone. Jesus had allies. For y'all who like Jesus perfect, Jesus did everything by himself. Not true. Like, Jesus had allies. And some of his allies were ratchet. They didn't hear what he was saying. They missed the moment. Like the disciple who told him, hey, this cat is doing miracles in your name. You want us to shut it down? No, I don't want you to shut it down. We got an ally. One person ain't trying to kill us. Like, let him walk with us. Oh my God. So, hey, Miss Ann. So do your big chop. My third point, find your allies. My second point, find your allies. Know who your allies are, who supports you in business, and where your allies fit. All allies are not going to be at all your events. They might just be the one person that likes everything that you post, but they showing you that they support you. And then third, stay salty and be fired. Be salt that's fired. Be tried in the fire. Your product, your business, your ministry is going to always be in a place where adversity is trying to come for it. But you're going to survive the fire. And you're going to remain salty. And you're going to remain flavorful to the earth and necessary. And so that's what Jesus was encouraging them. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys today to do. To be on the mend. Everybody on here isn't a preacher. I know that. And so Mending Life Concepts, we focus on how to merge spirituality with emotional wellness. Being a business owner will tax you. It will take you places you're not even thinking about. Into spaces of worry that you didn't even know existed. And you like, God, how you gonna bring me down? Fix this anxiety. And then the next thing you know, you get a call from somebody saying, we want you to speak at our engagement. So that's remaining salty. You speak to relevant topics. Like in November, I have 3 guests that are going to be speaking to pedophilia in the church. We just had 100 priests. Had to dip down on y'all. 100 of them to come out and talk about the years of pedophilia. And what damage has happened to these priests, because this is years. So who told them it was okay? Like those are the questions that come from that. Topic came up today in regards to what does it look like in marriage when you're married and then your spouse has a partner. What does that look like? That is something I actually studied when I got my divinity degree, because I was confused about it. I was confused and frustrated. But after sitting and studying it, that's actually an arranged piece of marriage. That's a part of westernized culture now, and we don't realize it. But that's a piece of culture, and it's more so to the west side of the United States. But that's a piece of culture, and we see it in different sects of Christianity where they have polygamy. And so, those are the things that keep MLC salty. Bringing those topics, talking about them, and what can we do to heal in spaces where we don't understand? What can we do to bring to the forefront so that we can walk into a place of healing as a community and as a society? And so what do we do to move from just being individuals in our silos to being individuals that absolutely understand how to walk in care and love for our communities, and for those individuals who are suffering with illness and mental illness? What do we do to remain salty, to show and give and be available? And what do we do to remain salty as allies for individuals? And what do we do when we know that we need to not be a part of something? And how do we chop ourselves? So I did it backwards. So I encourage you guys today to look at what needs to be chopped, to look at your allies, and even thank your allies today. I thank you guys every time I get off of here for support. So thank your allies today. Support them. Say thank you for whatever you have done. Hey, Lisa. And then, after that, what is it that I need to do to remain salty and stay in the fire? Like, what can keep my salt lit? What can keep me flavorful? What design do I need to do? Every program and every business has to go through an overhaul. I've never seen one survive that didn't. And so there may be times and maybe spaces that there needs to be an overhaul. Overhauls are ugly, and it may cause you to lose things that you're not interested in losing. That's okay, because the overhaul is going to lighten the load so that you can go to your next level. So I encourage you guys today, be great, stay on the mend. That is why we are here. Read the text. I always try to post it. I know it's crazy titles, but that's what I do. And as you read the text, see and think about what are ways that I can stay salty, what are ways that I can stay flavorful, what are ways that I can embrace my allies, and what are ways that I can separate from things that are not causing me to walk in my dreams, my visions, what God has called me to do, where God has called me to be, and in the spaces that will cause me to continue to grow and expand. Watch where you plant your seeds, because seeds produce. And if you plant them in soil that isn't good, then your seed isn't going to be able to take good root. So watch where you plant your seeds, because everybody attached to kingdom, in my opinion, should be in a place of growth. They should be in a place of growth, and everything that you have sown should come back to you, because the word says God gives seed to the sower. So sow the seed that's given, so that you can see a harvest. So be blessed. Stay on the mend. Self matters. If you hadn't done anything for self-care today, go out and do it. Whether it's going outside, taking a breath at your office, or whether it's taking a walk around your neighborhood, just thanking God that you got a neighborhood. Go out and do it. Have a blessed day, and I will catch you guys later on the mend.